Joseph Fernand, we are back in studio and broadcasting live out to the world of YouTube. What is going on, my friend?
Dave, it's good to be back to our roots, back to live podcasting. It's what we live and breathe for. That's what we do best. Welcome, fishing friends, to another episode of Wind Against Tide. And spring fishing has dawned upon us. So we've got a great show lined up for you tonight. And we're going to kick it off with talking about some of our upcoming events, which we've got going in the Wind Against Tide universe. Dave.
That's right, Joey. Part of the reason we haven't been live is because we've been really busy getting prepped up for some of the stuff we've got coming up. We've got the boat show coming up 26th to the 29th of October at Docklands. We're going to be there with our stall broadcasting again. There'll be merch. There'll be a bit of fishing gear. So come down and say hello. While we're doing that, Joe is off on another vacation. I know what you're thinking. He's always on holiday. Yes, that's correct. The man has no shame. Constantly holidaying you are, Joseph. What do you have to say about that?
I'm returning back to Thailand, and we're going to return back to exotic fishing in the middle of the Thailand jungle and hope to catch some really large freshwater predator fish. No, I'm really going to Thailand because my dear friends are getting married, but there's always, an opportunity to sneak in a little rod or a little bit of a fishing trip between.
I'm sure you'll sneak your little rod in, yeah. So last time you were over there, Joey, there's actually a clip on our YouTube. You fished these big man-made ponds in quite a scenic area, to be honest. It was some lovely valleys, and we edited up a nice episode. So you're going to go do that again, are you?
I'm going to go do it again. Literally, it was like a scene out of Jurassic Park. Like you literally jump in a little buggy and go into the middle of the jungle. The lake that we fish in is about, the property's 10 acres, and the water ranges from 3 meters to about 4.5 meters. And it's been stocked with all these predatory freshwater fish, and made a fishing park where there's 8 huts surrounded by this beautiful lake. And it's based off the English coarse fishing. So they're using things like boilies and floats and big bait runner reels and 8-foot rods and little bite detectors when the fish picks up the bait. It's a really, really cool setup. So if you ever get over to Thailand, highly recommend it. But that's where I'm off to, while Dave and Jonah are going to be running the Melbourne Boat Show, the podcast stand there. And
yes, it is.
I'm going to miss out on that because it's a lot of fun, the BIA Boat Show.
It is great.
What one expect at the boat show, Dave?
Well, Joe, it's trade week in the AFL right now. And what I've done is I've traded one Joseph Fernand out for a first round draft pick in one Jonah Yick. So Joseph out, Jonah in for the boat show. Looking forward to that. What can you expect at the boat show this year? Apparently, it's going to be a lot bigger than last year. And last year was pretty big, Joe. So there's going to be some cool products there. But the main event's obviously going to be us, I'd say.
Is there any big celebrities there this year? Because there was quite a bust up of big time celebrities there last year, and we got the chance to interview them. If you go back and listen to some of our previous podcasts, we had Andrew Eddinghausen on. We had Mark Berg's Fishing Addiction. We did all right.
We did do all right. Hopefully some of those guys are there again. We'll get another catch up with them and see what's been happening throughout the year, and maybe a few others, Joe. I haven't really started my hunt yet. I've been busy organising logistics, but as we draw closer to the date, I'll set a few targets and I'll hunt them down for the show, and we'll get them on to chat to everyone.
Yeah, nice. We've got another big live event happening, correct me if I'm wrong, November 16th. We're doing a live show back out in Berwick at Poker Face, and it's going to be the season launch party of Fishing with Fergie. Fishing with Fergie's up to season 3, and Peter Ferguson will be hosting the night. We'll be podcasting, but Pete's got some unbelievable giveaways for that. Frogley's Offshore, Atomic, Complete Angler, Dandenong, and Maui Jim. The man is absolutely connected, and we gave away some stuff last year, but I tell you what, you definitely want to get a ticket and come along to this night because Peter Ferguson might as well be called Santa Claus with what he's got in store for this particular night. So if you want some really sick prizes, definitely come along to it. We'll be sharing the links on socials after the show.
Yeah, no, we'll be doing a live potty from there again, Joey. It's a good event. It's a good place to be as well. There's a nice bar there, so you can stand at the bar, drink some booze, and heckle everyone that's up on stage. So hopefully, if you guys are down there and you can do that, and we'll cop it. We don't mind at all. But looking forward to that one, Joey.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. That's going to be fun.
So that's our couple of events we've got in the pipeline. But what has been going on the last few weeks, Joe? We haven't been able to share what's happening live because we've done a few pre-records, which I hope everyone's been enjoying. But a few uploads have gone up on our channel. We had a really great chat with our mate Mark Sullivan, who had a real traumatic experience where he basically hit a whale in his boat, and that is a real good listen, if I do say so myself, Joey. So I recommend, if you haven't heard that one, jump on YouTube, jump on Spotify, jump on Apple Podcasts, and have a listen and a watch, because there's some really important messages in there about safety at sea and how to handle yourself in an emergency situation, Joe.
And you know what? There's still quite a lot of tuna fishing happening offshore in Melbourne, and there's plenty of whales out there. Like we did a upload recently, and you could even see the expression on my face. It was a harrowing story, and not to mention poor Mark. He's talking to us, months after the accident, and the poor fella could still hardly talk. Like it's really, really confronting stuff.
It is. So yeah, definitely have a listen to that. There's another video has gone up, me and Suraj catching a couple of squid. Our first video upload in a while.
Suraj's going to be at the boat show this year as well.
He is. So you can get a live autograph from King Kong Donkey Kong Man himself. I've got a fishing report from him this week, by the way, Joey. So we'll have a look at that a little bit later. But yep, he'll be down there at the boat show. So looking forward to that. But how about we crack on with a few of the happenings that have been happening in the fishing world, Joey?
Yeah.
Now, we've had a few trips lately, Joe. It's been really hard going, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, I think before we went on air tonight, we were sharing a meal, and I said to Dave, gee, you've had it really hard when the last 2 months of your camera reel in your iPhone is just pictures of barrels on the sounder.
Absolutely. We were just saying in previous seasons when we've been out tuna fishing, Joey, you if you're not with me, I usually start to send you a few photos of fish on the depth sounder, and then sure enough, it'll be followed by one on the deck. But on this season, it's been a lot of photos of fish on the sounder and not a lot of them getting caught. So there's a lot out there, Joe, but they're tricky to catch at the moment. Doesn't seem to matter what technique you use. If you're not there at the right time, very hard to catch.
Well, tell us a little bit about your trip on Sunday when you headed back out on the big bluefin tuna. I wasn't on board this time, but you did manage to get out.
Yeah, so Sunday was my latest glutton for punishment day, Joey. Ran out of Western Port, straight out east there, and down around Cape Patterson, where there's been significant life for some time now. And we were straight on the fish, on the sounder, marking them, going through stuff that you wouldn't believe that you're not going to hook up in. And unbelievable, as has been happening all this season, we didn't manage to get a bite, but I did watch on 2 occasions fish come out of the water, having a crack at the lure and completely missing it, Joe, which was bloody heartbreaking and exciting at the same time. But there was a few fish caught around us, so not impossible. But yeah, some guys are on a bit of a luck streak, and some guys like me are plagued by bad luck, I reckon, Joey.
How many more weeks, months do you think we might see these big tuna lurking out the front of our local Melbourne waters, Dave, in your experience?
I've caught them well into November in the past, Joe, so hopefully they're going to stick around till then. We'll start to see more and more people look to move on to the snapper fishing, Joe, which is starting to pick up.
Was that locally you've caught them in November?
Down at Portland, and I think just into maybe early November I've caught 1 or 2 off Anglesea down off Port Phillip Bay, so I'm sure they still come through, Joe.
I actually do remember back in the day, Dave, we, it was back when the tea tree competition was still on, which is usually the end of October, start of November. And We were around Lawrence Rock at Portland, and yeah, they were catching them then. We didn't get one that day, but yeah, it's amazing once the days click over into daylight savings, how much more trolling time you get on the water when going for these big tuna. But,
Yes, they make for very long, sometimes painful days, Joey. So we're joined by a fair few people on the live feed tonight. Good to see you all there. We've got Shane, Dave Farmer, Kim Ye, and Rodney's up at Bermagui at the moment. He's commented saying, "Tasty donut up here off Bermagui." Chasing the yellowfin, which have been firing inshore there around Montague Island, I've heard, Joey.
oh, I'm sure the donuts are very tasty on board that big 50-foot Maritimo, Rodney.
Absolutely. So yeah, we've had a few hard trips, Joe, and it's good to keep it real. You know, it's not always all catching fish, is it?
No, it definitely isn't. But I'm still keen. If in 2 weeks, if those barrels are still going, I am still very much into them because they're literally it's the best fish that you can catch in Victoria. I'm just going to say it hands down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen
What about
every year.
What about the poor old swordfish?
Wow.
They're good to catch. They're just not fun to
Yeah.
bob around waiting to catch one sometimes.
Look, if you put a fish and chip shop on the way in home from Swordfish, I might consider it. But I'm going to say that the tuna over 100 kilos out of Melbourne, that's my favourite game fish to chase.
Oh yes, we should actually discuss where you were last Sunday when we went out fishing, Joseph.
Yeah, what?
There was some poor communication going on, I feel. I get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, start getting the boat ready. Then I wake up to a message from Joe. You've sent the freaking message to me at 12:30, middle of the night. Oh, are we still going? How was I supposed to see or respond to that one?
Well, I was working at the Crown Casino in Melbourne as I do sort of bi-weekly, and it was the last opportunity to probably get out on these big tuna before I go away on my trip. But I was pretty tired. I'd worked all day in real estate, and then the night before I performed in the theatre, and it was definitely going to be burning the candle at both ends. And yeah, I knew there was a bit of pressure on Dave as well to not fish the whole day. And anyways, I just decided that it's probably best to sleep in.
Mm.
So
anyway.
Simple as that.
It's just a bit of the old wake up to a message of confusion and go, oh, I guess Joe's not coming. Oh, well, we'll move on. Before we move off tuna completely and into some of the exciting stuff that's coming up with snapper season and whatnot, Joey, I want to make a phone call because one man's had a pretty cool day just recently. Brody Connolly, good friend of the show. He's gone out there and he's caught a giant bluefin in his tiny little boat, Joey. I'm going to give him a call.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can see. Let's pray that he picks up first of all. And
let's pray the phone's working.
Here we go. We're having a crack.
Yep, it's is that the
How are we going now?
No, do you have to plug it in?
No, it's connected via Bluetooth.
Okay, no, we're going to have to reconnect the Bluetooth.
Where's the plug? This is going great. All right, we're bailing out of that one. Sorry, Brody.
Well, we'll try it again in a bit.
We'll try it again. Tech issues when you're live, Joey. I don't know what happened there. It's connected.
If you're happy to carry me for 30 seconds, I'll get the cable.
Yeah, no, I won't carry you. I'll just connect it myself again, and then we'll see how we go. Nobody cares. We're all live here.
Yeah, we are. We're all mates here.
All live here. It's connected, Joe. Are you sure you had the right thing up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Maybe we won't tempt fate and try that again. Maybe we'll just talk about it.
Yeah, so, we can talk about it. So Brody's gone out on his Sea Wasp. How big of a boat is that?
Well, here's a photo of it here, Joey.
Yep, let's do that.
Have a look at that little beautifully rebuilt Sea Wasp, and he's gone out solo. Now, these things are like 4 meters long, as you can see.
That's a fiberglass. It's like a 4 meter long fiberglass, right?
Yeah, they're a Haynes Hunter.
Oh, okay.
They're a legendary little boat.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what he's gone out in, Joe. And he's out solo.
White Suzuki, got some snapper racks there.
He does. Now, it's a fair run down to where these fish are, probably a good 40, 50K. So not a little haul in a little boat. But I think the weather was pretty good today. I'm not sure exactly if he got it today or yesterday, but we've had some nice weather, Joey. Now I'm going to go find the photo of him with this fish because it's very impressive. Joey,
Yeah, show me.
98 kilo bluefin, I believe. Here you go.
Wow.
So there you go. That's Coronella Boat Ramp, everyone. Whoever would have thought would be weighing big barrel bluefin at Coronella Boat Ramp. 98 kilo caught in that area we've been talking about off Cape Patterson. And apparently there was a few mishaps going on, which always happens when you're on your own. So that's why we want to have a chat to Brody. But Joey, for that, I reckon we go King Kong, Donkey Kong catch of the week.
Oh,
mate.
100%.
Hit that button.
King Kong, Donkey Kong, mate. Look.
We've gone
There it
early
is.
on it, but there you go.
It's official.
Oh, man. That was a bit of a shit fight, wasn't it?
No, it's fine.
It
It's
didn't
all
work
good.
well at all.
Come on, this is showbiz.
That's showbiz. We push on. Anyway, so catch of the week. We've gone early there. But time to start looking forward, Joey, in the fishing world. Snapper season, your favourite.
Oh, man, there's been some fantastic snapper caught. Last Friday at Observation Point, I received a video from one of my bandmates, the legendary Carl Lewis, drummer of Savage Garden for 10 years, got out with his nephew Mason. They went out in their stabby craft to try their luck at snapper, and they fished in 6 meters of water off Observation Point. And I got I wish I had the video ready, but he's caught a 5 kilo snapper on a whiting snatcher rig with just a little bit of squid. And they were laughing. They've said he's done it again, because I was out with Carl and Mason about a year ago, and they'd just taken their boat out for the first time in Western Port. And for those who don't know Western Port, there's quite a lot of tide there, and their anchor wasn't biting properly. So we're anchored up off Hastings, and the anchor was not holding. So we were drifting down the channel, and Carl had his whiting snatcher hung over the side, hoping to catch a whiting, and the rod buckled over, and it was a 3 kilo snapper. Oh, there he is. There he is, Carl. But yeah, he caught his first snapper on a whiting snatcher with the squid a year ago, and he's gone out to Observation Point in Western Port last Friday, and he's gone with his trusty whiting snatcher rig with the little squid strip on a long shank hook, and it was a 5 kilo snapper. Middle of the day, and it was an absolute beauty.
There you go.
And to back it up, that was Friday. Then the following Sunday, you had one Brendan Winger went out fishing in 67 knots of wind, and he also fished at Observation Point, and he caught a 6 kilo snapper.
Impressive. There's definitely been an uptick in the snapper catches in the last couple of weeks, Joey. We had a real warm day today, and it just felt like snapper season to me, didn't it? That spring, hot, northerly day, it really seems to kick the season off. Grand final days behind us, and that's generally when things really start to take off.
Yeah. Who else do you know that's been getting stuck into the snapper recently, Dave?
Mate, I saw some a couple of nice reports from. Well, there's one man that's always getting stuck into them, and that's Brett Reed. So he was fishing in Port Phillip. So Port Phillip's starting to go pretty good as well, off Frankston there somewhere.
Well, I was a bit confused about something that Reedy's Rigs does. He's been Brett Reed been saying been catching them on the scallop. I'm like, what's this scallop rig like? You know, we've been talking about
Scallop.
Sorry, scallop. We've been talking about people catching mussels. Brim on mussel lures. I thought maybe Brett's designed a scallop lure that's got a hook dangling out of it, and maybe it's just something that the snapper can't resist. I thought that he actually had designed a scallop to catch his snapper on. That's what I thought it was. And then Dave just looked at me stupidly. He's like, Joe, you know what a scallop is? I go, no, I don't.
Did you think it was something like the Muss lure?
That's what I thought. I thought he'd designed an actual scallop with a hook hanging out of it. I'm like, this guy's just broken new frontier of snapper fishing.
Dear God, we might have just stumbled across a genius snapper lure idea, Joe. The Scully.
The scallop.
There's the Muss and the Pippi for Brim. The scallop.
Can you imagine tapping a little scallop off the mud flats of Western Port and Port Phillip?
Yeah, can you just imagine that? Just snapping one along. You know how they do a bit of this action. just along the sea floor.
Yeah.
My God.
Wait, there is something like a mussel or a scallop. Isn't there those octopus eye jig things that they're famous in New Zealand with a couple of little assist hooks from them? I've seen them getting it about. Maybe that's something we can try
Yeah, but I'm
this year.
talking about an actual bloody scallop.
Oh, like a shell.
We're
like,
inventing lures here.
Okay.
Yeah, like the muss. You know the muss?
Yeah.
Yeah, but scallop.
Just get it. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, here's a report from Reedy. Cracking day fishing with young Zach. The fish were biting extremely well. First light bite was amazing. Bagged by 7 a.m. You'll start to hear that a lot in the next few months, Joey. In the next 2 weeks, you'll see a lot of fish caught scattered around Port Phillip Bay as the fish push up north to spawn. The high UV material helps the fish to see the bait and attracts them, encouraging them to bite. Reedy's Midnight and Super Lumo also have the high UV feature, same as scallop. The fish will be biting hard for 2 months. There will be plenty of awesome rod buckling action. So you can't get out. If you can't get out soon, there's still plenty of time. Stay awesome. And there's a few beautiful fish there, Joey.
Oh yeah, you're going to start hearing that soon. The old bagged in, back in time for breakfast, or back in time to start a full day of work. I'm not that keen to do that, but it is possible.
No, I'm definitely an arvo snapper fisherman, Joey. I prefer just to roll out in the nice, calm afternoons and then
No, it just doesn't sit well with me having to wake up early, go fishing, and then stressed out to be back at work on time and be on your A game. I'm an arvo roller as well. Finish the day of work, hook up the boat, or just meet you at the pontoon, and you've got the boat
it's amazing how
beautifully prepared for me.
Isn't that amazing? Hey, it's just you just rock up to the ramp and there's a fully kitted out Edencraft sitting there for you to jump on, Joe.
Full of fuel.
No,
and I usually just bring a roast chicken.
Quite amazing. That must be very nice for you. Just walk on like you're some sort of fishing royalty.
Oh, I love it.
But, you may not realize this, but it gets there because I actually pack it and everything, and that's how it gets in that position. So there is some effort that goes in, just not from yourself.
I just thought it was just a magic boat that was just ready for me.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So we've had a little fishing report of a different kind, Joey. Jonah Yick, great friend of the show, recently was saying, guys, I'm heading out fishing, and there's a few things we mainly target. There's tuna, snapper, down that way. Jonah's often on the squid and whatnot, but it's not often you go, boys, I'm going out to target a spawning aggregation of big pink ling.
Well, Jonah fishes out of Tasmania, and so pink ling.
That's right.
Here they are.
Yes. So apparently there's a bit of a spawning aggregation happening with the pink lingers.
Man, they look prehistoric, those things. Like, we're looking here at a long pink thing with it looks like it's got snake skin, and they got oogly eyes, and yeah, they're
tasty.
They're tasty.
They're tasty, but they're ugly.
They don't look tasty.
No. They're actually probably one of the more hideous creatures you'll find on the ocean.
Delicious pink sea slugs.
That's how Jonah labels them.
Yep.
So really good ones. And it reminded me, Joe, of a time where we slept out overnight 130k offshore, and I was hand cranking those bad boys from 200 meters in the dark, hand over fist. I'd found the ling hole, the ling mountain, I should say.
I've got an unconfirmed pink ling report. I've had one Dennis Della Silva fish out of Coronella last week, and he swears to me that he caught a pink ling in the brown water of Coronella because and look, I kind of believe him because they do get some conger eels up there at this time of the year in the start of the spring, and we were congering them on the show, but yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to do some research on this, but generally those pink lings are found very deep out over the shelf. There's a lot of rockling off Coronella. Could it have been one of them?
How big does a rockling grow to?
Not as big as the pink dogs, but they're more of a mottled color, and they're also very tasty. And we catch a lot of them as bycatch when we're mulloway fishing.
Okay.
One of the best eating fish you can get. I'm not discounting that. maybe the pinkling do occasionally come into shallow water, but I've never seen it in Western Port. Probably more likely it was a rockling.
All right.
It was a good story though.
Yeah.
Look, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Jonah can fill us in here. Do pinkling come in the shallows, Jonah, or are they just a shelf thing?
I don't know. Why do the conger eels come into Coronella then?
Well, they're a different species. Anyway, so Jonah
Yeah.
got
Do you know where the conger eel likes to live, Smarty Pants?
conger eel.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Congo.
In the
Africa.
Congo Republic. How do they get from the Congo Republic to Western Port, huh?
In a conga line.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say?
No, that's good though.
You wish you had that music cued
Yeah,
right now,
I
don't
really
you?
wish I did. Oh. And I wish I had the Bill soundtrack as well for
For Snapper Police.
yeah, for
All the
Snapper
things that
Police.
get us copyrighted.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jonah got his bag of pinkling and then he went on to catch a bunch of blue eye, as you can see.
Oh.
So,
Blue eye. Tasty fish.
interesting thing about the blue eye, Joey, he was catching him 100 meters off the bottom.
Yeah, I can tell because their red gills have exploded, so he must have cranked them up from really deep.
That's not what I was saying at all, but okay. Blue eye, you think they're a bottom fish, yeah? But he's catching them in the scatter layer like 100 meters off the bottom is what I'm saying.
Oh.
Like they're a mid-water pelagic.
What even is a scatter layer?
So it's like a layer made up of all microorganisms and food things.
Oh yeah.
Is that interesting?
So it's like a ocean gravy.
Yes, exactly. Exactly right.
You need lots of little bits and you got to add some hot water to make a nice slick gravy. So yeah, ocean gravy. That's what I'm going to call it.
Okay. Jonah can add that to his scientific papers. Another cool report's come out over the desk in the last week. We're circling back to tuna again, but that's all right.
That's all right.
Aiden Marshall went out and caught his first barrel, and I think he was going to get it taxidermied, but then the price was a bit out of control. So he's just gone, bugger it, I'll do it myself. So he's just built himself a big sandpit thingy.
Oh yeah, I had a look at this before the show. It kind of looks like, do you remember Star Wars when Han Solo got frozen in like a block? Well, basically this tuna over here is it's been Han Soloed.
Yeah. So make your own mold. Good effort, I say, Joey. If you don't want to pay taxidermists, just do it yourself. So that's stage one.
Oh wait, so that's the full carcass of the tuna that's been caught, and it's just been dumped into a pit of, what is that, fiberglass?
No, that's sand.
Oh, okay.
So you're making the mold out of the sand.
Right.
So I'll find you the other photo here in a second. So
Yep. Okay.
Flip to us. I'll just bring her up.
The tuna's dumped in like some Tyler's sand or something like that.
Yeah.
Looks quite fine.
And there it is with like the casting mold stuff poured around it, like a fiberglass resiny thing, and then it gets popped out, and then I think he's sending that off to get painted.
Yeah.
So budget wall art. What do you call them? Yeah, taxidermy.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, that's one way you can do it.
I wonder how the tuna tasted after that.
Yeah, I don't think they eat the tuna once they've molded them, Joe, and they've sat out in the sun for a day.
Oh, okay.
But that's each to their own. I don't think I'd really be into that. But
No, I was just joking. No, that's cool.
yeah. How do you feel about that, Joe?
No, that's a good. Well, I don't understand how that's actually cheaper than the taxidermy. Like, how much would it cost to taxidermy 100-kilo tuna?
Oh, it's very expensive, thousands of dollars.
Like, I've seen it.
You got to remember, you're paying for a custom art piece.
Yeah,
but I guess
how much is a snapper? Like, do you remember back in the day when lots of people getting their snapper casted on the wall?
No, Peter Ferguson can answer it. Peter Ferguson, who's on the chat, can answer us because he's got a nice death ball at home.
Yes,
filled with snapper carcasses. But yeah, each their own. Taxidermy does require, I guess, a bit of wastage of the fish, but you're turning into art. So I don't think I'd do it, but some people, they want to immortalize that culture, and I guess that's the way that they want to do it. So,
well, there's a few other ways I've seen you do the Japanese ink print. What's that called again?
Gaiataku.
Gaiataku. So you get squid ink and you spread that out like on a sheet, and then you make a imprint of the fish on one side. Are you still able to eat that fish after it's been
Yeah, you
smeared in
can.
ink?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you just wipe the ink off and then away you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good option. But some people do want that big 3D lifelike thing on their wall.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Like it, yeah, definitely. It would look better than some of these some of the molds you would see in the fish and chip shop of a tuna or a swordfish.
Yep.
Yeah, it would look real cool.
And I'm sure everyone's wives and partners enjoy having a large animal perched upon their wall.
I reckon you could have it in your bedroom.
I think I have seen that before.
You really?
So it's just, above the bed head there. So when you're really sort of, going for it, getting a bit getting a bit intimate, you've got this giant eyeball of a tuna staring back at you.
With its mouth open. Like impressed.
As you reach the penultimate moment, you're just staring into the soulless eyes of a fish that you've caught. But anyway, some people are into that sort of thing.
Gosh.
No, but that's pretty cool. Bit of home art there. Don't mean to take the piss too much, but yeah.
I know you're thinking of renovating your home, Dave. We might see that renovation at the standing residence next time.
Yes, I think I'll have to I'll get that over the line. I think that should be fine, Joey.
A couple of barrel heads, one on each bed stool.
Yeah. Something tells me that's not gonna happen, Joey. But anyway, so yeah, really cool to have a look at that whole process going on, and yeah. So how about we look at some of the upcoming fishing we've got happening, Joey, and some of the captures that have been going on.
Dave, I want to know how the squid's been going, mate.
The squids, mate, they've just
because it's been pretty lousy.
Mate, it was really hard up until I reckon about a week ago. They just started to flick the switch properly. What's happening? Is your fish dying?
Oh no, I was just watching. It was just that's all right. I thought there was a bit of spawning action happening behind me. Yeah.
Yes, Joey's hump-headed wrasse thingies.
Yes.
Yeah, the squid fishing. Yeah, so I reckon in the last week or so, or probably 2 weeks, the spawning event has really kicked into gear. I was out with Suraj not too long ago, and we came upon a patch of squid, and it's when they're really aggregating and ready to spawn, because you'll catch one and 3 or 4 will follow it up, which is great for fishing because you just keep the first one hooked up and then catch his mates, and it's a lot quicker than grinding it out all day catching singular squid. You can get you enough for bait quickly and then move on. So,
and you mentioned as well, when you're on a hot spawning squid bite, some of the squid that you'll bring in will actually be damaged because they've been fighting with the other squid over the nest. So they get really aggressive when they start to spawn those southern calamari, especially this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Western Port in particular, around the usual haunts of Flinders and the eastern entrance, have had some really good fishing going on. Tortoise Head and up around Tyab and stuff also on their day have been pretty good. It's really just a matter of finding the clean water and working away and finding a patch of squid and then concentrating on that area, Joe, and you're a good chance at collecting some good food and some good bait.
And if you love calamari fishing, in our upcoming episodes, we're going to have an episode that are dedicated to squid. We had Fishing with Fergie, Peter Ferguson, in the studio, and you'll be really entertained from that chat that we had. So that's up and coming on our channel. So yeah, look out for that one.
Absolutely, Joey. And then you turn your squid into the snapper, which we've just already mentioned are starting to nip in our bays and estuaries. So if you were to go out tomorrow and target snapper, Joey, what area are you targeting in Western Port?
I'm just going to go out there and say with a lot of the hot still weather that we've had, I think it's going to be an early snapper season. My friends that were at Observation Point said the water was 15 degrees the other day. So I'd be heading sort of into that main bowl of the eastern arm of Western Port, sort of Elizabeth Island, Observation Point, even up around that area that we call the boobs at Coronella, Blue Gum Point, the Mozzie Channel.
Interesting. So what you're
Coronet Bay.
What you're sort of saying is, because these areas down around Rill and Coronet Bay and stuff, generally they start to fire up after the early run of fish, which are much further north in the system. So Port Phillip and Western Port are similar in that the first push of fish for the year seem to go straight to the top of the systems where the water's its warmest and maybe there's more nutrients. And then as the temperature spikes up, they start to spread back to the south. So it's probably that time of year, isn't it, Joey, where they start coming back down south a little bit more and then can be targeted in a variety of areas.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. But no, I think it's going to be a more traditional early season. I felt like the snapper, really didn't start to fire last year for us in Western Port until sort of into November sort of thing. But no, there's some signs that we are today, the 11th of October. I think there's some good fishing still to come.
Yep. And you had a bit of a whiting stacking report, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Let it be known that there are thousands of whiting. They've invaded the north end of Western Port. You heard it here first.
It's time, is it?
Yeah.
What areas?
The Bolton's Channel, mouth of the Bolton's Channel. Apparently, as many whiting as you want.
Ah, who told you that?
And been heard the Lyles Channel's been going pretty good, and right up at Bowshears as well.
Well, good snapper area that as well.
Oh, well, there was one. Fabian Villela from Tooradin Angling Club was out with his boy Charlie on Sunday, and they caught a nice 4.5 kilo snapper up there, and also they weren't really targeting them, but they managed to get a good dozen whiting as bycatch. So, that rebuts the point that there is quite a lot of whiting up in the northern reaches of Western Port. So, yeah, very good bay fishing available there.
We'll do a little bit of that this year again, Joey. We did a bit of it last year and got into it. And, it's good with my young fella as well, taking him out on the water, nearly 2 now. So he'll start to realize what's going on more and more. But it's quick action for kids, keeps them interested, and they're pretty tasty. So we're going to do some bait board stacking. No, we're not.
Yeah, no. Well, we're going to do it. I'm pretty sure that our whiting episode was the best of all time episode of Wind Against Tide in our fishing video section.
It actually was. I couldn't believe that. But people seem to relate to the whitings, Joey. Every man fish they are. Accessible land-based in boats. Pull hard. Tastes good.
Nothing better than some whiting fillets just tossed in some garlic and parsley butter and with lemon on it.
There was actually a barrel whiting caught in a fishing competition at Hastings this weekend. It was 53 centimeters, Joe. That's like
get out of here.
That's like the equivalent of a 30-pound snapper, I reckon.
1.1 kilos, something like that.
I should, we're classically disorganized, but we should get the photo up. Maybe we'll put it on our socials. Because there was a massive whiting. There's all these big tuna coming in on the weigh station. Who cares? 53 centimeter whiting. Get out of the way, everyone.
Yeah, they should be getting that thing up on the gantry.
Would you back the boat up to the gantry for that?
I would. I told you what I would do with whiting fishing. We're gonna do it this year, Dave. We're gonna get a big flag pole, and every time we catch a whiting, you have to affix a little whiting flag to the pole.
Tag flags for whiting.
And then we're going to come in and our boat's going to look like a porcupine with all these little red flags and poles.
I just imagine lining up at the gantry with all the tuna boats and just arrogantly backing in under the weighbridge and hoisting up a beautiful whiting for all to see.
No. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to catch some whiting and we're going to back up to the gantry and we're going to get the hook. And there'll just be a sack of whiting, and we can just weigh the sheer weight of the sack of whiting.
Right. Okay.
That's what we can do.
All good plans, and we look forward to putting them into place, Joe.
Yeah, we're going to get our shot in the limelight. Like we didn't do any good on the barrels, so I reckon we just hoist up a sack of whiting there in the next couple of weeks. What do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, we haven't done great on the barrels. We've lost a few. We've caught one good one this year.
We've had a gaff break in one. We've had one lost on the spreader bar for 2 minutes. Dave had 2 fire at his shotgun lure on Sunday. Like, we're just so close.
This brings me a little bit to the grinds my gears that I've got this week, Joe.
All right, let's hit the button.
We now go to Peter Griffin for You Know What Really Grinds My Gears.
Thanks, Tom. You know what really grinds my gears?
Davey, what grinds your gears, my friend?
Why don't any of you have jobs? I don't understand it. I'm sitting there at work every day. You're all driving. I live on the road that goes to the boat ramp, Joe. I hear all the boats trundling past in the morning. None of you are working. You're all fishing.
Is anybody even courtesy tooting you as they drive past
No.
your house?
There's no weekend or weekdays anymore. Everyone's just out fishing every bloody day. And how are they earning the money to pay for the fuel?
Oh, yeah, it's $2.29 a litre. So how much it cost to fill your boat the other day, Dave? V8 Mercury to
$420. $420. $420, Joe.
Gee, and you couldn't even talk about the cricket scores with the Indian service attendant.
No.
You might have got a discount. Talk to him
It's
about
not cricket season yet.
Yeah.
Must you make vaguely racist statements every podcast?
No, come on.
First, it's the Vietnamese squid fisherman announced this. So yeah, why are you all fishing all the time and not working? It's bloody. It's. I'm jealous. That's what it is, Joe. I'm jealous. I've got to get some sort of setup. Like, can I have a job with you people where you can fish every second day? I want in on that.
Yeah, that's pretty irresponsible. But you actually had a full dummy spit to me on our voice memo in a chat room on the weekend, and I reminded you that this other topic needed to be included on our gear segment this week. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, this is going to get me targeted by fisheries and murdered.
No,
Is
no.
that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh well, all right.
Because
so
it was absolutely spot on.
Well, the fishing is the big tuna fishing at the moment is there's no secret. There's a bit of it going on down towards Cape Patterson, where there's a marine park. It's a big square in the water,
Yep.
and so Sunday there was probably a good, I don't know, 200 boats on Western Port fishing. I'm sure most of them were doing the right thing, but there was probably there's probably a few there that could have been checked and just kept honest. But there's about 10 boats out there on the ocean. We're about 50k down the coastline. I don't know about you, Joe, but I feel like maybe it's a little bit of an overstretch of resources to ignore all the boats inshore and come driving out in the ocean to police a little square of water. And don't get me wrong, I think some marine parks are a good thing, but apparently there's been a couple of boats that have hooked tuna outside of this zone and then got dragged in or blown in while they're fighting the fish. So they're trying to do the right thing. You can't really control where a tuna pulls you. And then they've been fined for going inside the box.
Yeah, like I'll tell you right now, if I've got 100 kilo tuna on and I get pulled inside the marine park during the fight, I ain't cutting it off.
No, absolutely. So I know everyone is trying to do the right thing down there. It just happens to be where the fish are. And everyone I've seen's actually been on, making sure they're trolling on the outside of it. But yeah, maybe some heavy-handed tactics there with finding people that have inadvertently been dragged into the zone. And they're pelagic fish, Joe. They're swimming on top of the water. So it's not like you're dropping anchors in the zone and ruining the reef and the reef fishes.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely fair enough.
I wasn't going to bring that up, but you made me do it now.
Oh,
Now I'm going to be on the fisheries watch list.
No, I think that's fair enough. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, so anyway, harsh, I believe. Entrapment, maybe.
Unfair.
Unfair. Anyway, that's what grinds my gears this week, Joey. We're going to pretty much start to wind this one up for the week. It's been great to see everyone again. Our last live before Joey goes overseas, the boat show and all the cool events that we've got coming up.
We've really blitzed this one, Dave.
We have. It's been good to get back on board and have a chat to everyone. And we appreciate the crowd engagement. I'm just going to have a quick check, see if we've got any late questions that have come through.
Yeah, we've got some new hoodies coming out as well. The 3 fishtails of the epitome of Melbourne fishing. That's going to be our new design. So that is a snapper tail, a tuna tail, and a kingfish tail. Am I right?
Yeah, I'll get it up on the screen right now, Joe.
Yep.
So There you go. Wham. It's getting printed on hoodies as we speak, which we'll have at the boat show. You can come and grab them off us. And then whatever stock's left is going to go up on our brand new website, which is getting developed, windagainsttide.com.au, Joey. It's going to be a one-stop shop, literally. Clothes shop for our merch and links to our latest videos and upcoming events. So a bit of a Wind Against Tide hub. So windagainsttide.com.au. You can actually go there now, chuck your email in, and then you'll be updated about when she goes live, and you'll be in the loop.
Oh, hell yeah. Am I subscribed? Did you subscribe me to that the other day?
No, you got to do it yourself.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Go on. Jump.
All right.
Let's end the podcast so you can go do that.
No. I can just step onto your boat. The least you could do is sign me up to the website.
You can do it yourself, mate.
Okay.
Anyway, just had a quick look at some of the questions we've had come through tonight. A lot asking about Brody Connolly. Tech has hindered us tonight, Joey. We were going to get him on and have a chat, and I bet you it was an awesome story. So we'll get that one in there next time. And then everyone's starting to get Snapper fever, so they wanted to hear about Snapper. So we talked a little bit about that. We've actually got a few Snapper-specific pods up there on the channel if you want to go have a listen to them as well.
Yeah. You're not Victorian if you haven't caught a snapper, so we give the people what they want.
That's it, Joey. All right, mate. Let's wrap this one up for a week. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Don't forget, Dave, Jonah at the boat show, October 26th to the 29th. Be there, and we'll see you next time, fishing friends.
Woo.